Yeah.
What's up, everybody? So I wanted to play this tonight. I mean, I'm not expecting a lot of people here. This is like a aggregate thing. If people watch this later, it's fine. It's whatever. But for the people who are here, I want to say hello to some people. Barbara Buffalo, Katie, what's up? So Angel Gotti was having her show tonight. Angel Gotti, for people who don't know, Angel Gotti's got a YouTube show. We've kind of been friendly with her. She has a guy on there. It's a nice guy, Tony Silo. There's a lot of really nice people in her chat. A lot of good people over there. For people who don't know who Angel Gotti is, and I've talked about her on this YouTube channel before, she is the daughter of John Gotti, the notorious, known, Teflon Don, famous mobster. So she's very well known, and she's like in her 60s. She's a nice lady. I don't. She's a grandma. She's not a dumb lady, but I think with like I'm 47, and we get, and I realize like when I started high school, and maybe like a lot of you, there weren't computers everywhere when I started high school, 93, 94. I mean, I remember there being the floppy disk computer games when I was in elementary school, like Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? But like I didn't grow up with the technology that is currently today. And I'm 47. If you had a pager, you're cool. If you had a cell phone in 1996, 1997, either your parents were rich or you were a drug dealer or a pimp, one of the three. But I know this. Hello, everybody. Me and Green, what's up? But Angel wouldn't give me an opportunity to come up on her show. And I wanted to be able to fairly pinpoint how I believe her numbers are bullshit. It sounds harsh. It sounds mean. And I hope she takes a couple minutes to listen to this. That doesn't mean that she's bullshit. It doesn't mean that she's fake. It doesn't mean that Tony Silo's fake. It doesn't mean that they are doing anything wrong. But if I'm at age 47 and I'm just learning this and I'm kind of behind the curve, she's in her 60s. She's even older than me. I don't think that she gets some of these. And I think the difference is she's a grandma who's taking care, and I respect the hell out of this, taking care of grandkids, helping her daughter out, yada, yada. She's somewhere in New York. You know, she didn't even know to do a plus channel till Jim told her. I do this for a living, not YouTube, but I own a streaming platform, Jim Terry TV and Night Owl Network, one on Amazon Fire Stick, one on Roku. There's a movie out there. If you know who I am, the Hollywood Reporter interviewed me. Okay. So I'm in this industry. People know who I am. People know who Angel Gotti is. No disrespect because of who her father is. But she's got a following. She's part of this kind of subgenre within YouTube that's called MobTube. Nice lady. You know, you can't fool, but somewhat naive. So I'm going to document this, and I hope she takes the time and watches this and educates herself, as I probably mansplain this to her. She already made Palomino a mod again, and Marzia. Okay, so, but this is just what I wanted to say here, Katie. Tonight she had 555 people in her chat. I'm sorry, watching live. Let's rephrase that. She had 555 people watching live. It's a lot. But she had maybe less than 20 chatting. And the way that you could tell that is if you look at the participants of the chat, you will see how many people are chatting. And I'm like, okay, if we have 555 and 20 people chatting, that's like 3.2%. Now, I got 10 people here right now, and I'm just popping up. It's not even that like a live thing. And I got a much higher percentage than her. Now, it's skewed because the numbers are so low. So now here's the thing. If you've seen shows where they have 500, 1,000 or whatever, and this is a YouTube channel I don't use very much, so I'm not expecting a lot of people to be here. But if you see shows like Icamel, and he covers police chases in Los Angeles, he's got probably a 10 to 15% of his live views are chatting and involved. And the big question that Angel Gotti needs to ask herself is, what is the quality of a person that's a subscriber or a chatter or a viewer? Like I said, one Texas granny is worth 50 hater Marine Moes. One Texas granny is worth 100,000 of those bot views. Let me explain. So Angel tonight and I hope she's watching this, Barbara Buffalo, because you'll understand what I'm saying because you guys been around for a while. She showed her demographics, and I happen to have a screen grab of it. So let's check this out. We know that the vast majority of people who are older people who watch streaming are female. Now, let's say more males might be into it because it's MobTube and this and that, but that seems like a very highly skewed number that 76% of her audience would be male. When we see her chat, if that's a microcosm of what's going on in her streaming world, is 70%, 76% of her chat male? I don't know about that. I don't even know if it's 50%. So if we, and I understand, and, I understand the aspect of, advertising and having other people watch short films that don't necessarily watch the live shows. I get all that. But what is the value of the advertisement? And this is the big thing that I wanted to kind of partake to you guys tonight. It's the 25 to 34, 18 to 24, and 13 to 17-year-olds. Okay. So if you take that would be like 42.6% of her audience are 34 years old or less that are watching anything that she puts out. By the way, when I had these, I never did YouTube advertising, Google advertising. I never had 2.6% of an audience that was 13 to 17. I think it was 0. So with that, let's break this down. Somebody who is 24 years old wouldn't even be alive when 9/11 happened. Okay? I don't know what year John Gotti died in, but most of them would not have been alive in this percentage. Just 42% of her audience would not be alive when John Gotti was alive. Her audience, in my opinion, and the people that we know and the people that we talk to, the human beings that we actually know, Mean Green and Kathy Fagan and her sister, like the people that we like over there, even the people we don't like, Tommy Real Deal. These are people that are 55 to 65 years old plus. But it's weird because her numbers in those areas are very low. Okay, so why are the numbers higher up for these demographics? Well, you can go on to any Reddit page, and here's the thing. If you go on to Google and search for this, obviously Google owns YouTube, and they're not going to give you this kind of information. And I'm not chastising it, but here's the thing. And this is not an anti-Angel Gotti thing, but I'm trying to put this into perspective so she can get this. Here's a little Reddit page about what's called nuking your YouTube channel. And if anybody, I'm going to put this in the chat. If anybody wants to send this to Angel Gotti, you're welcome to, or just in general wants to have this, to look at this, you're welcome to check this out just so you know that I'm not faking it. There it is right there. Okay. So this is called nuking your YouTube. And here's a guy it's for new YouTube users. I just want to put this 5 months ago, so it's relatively new. I usually lurk and I'm sharing because I know someone else will be the same bright idea I had. Here's my story in hopes that it saves some people some time. Last year, I thought about about being smart. Google gave me some free ad credits, which is their advertising. So I used it to promote my videos. The subs piled in. Remember Angel saying, I'm getting all these subs from advertising. The numbers looked healthy. Look I got all these people watching me. And within a few months, I'd hit 10K. Jim was making $10,000 a month on YouTube in 2022. He never had anywhere near 10K, but he was actively in a bunch of people's chats and everybody knew his name within true crime. I actually thought I had figured out YouTube. This is what this person, except nobody was actually watching. Sound familiar with Lee Cole? Retention was trash. Engagement was 0, like having 555 people live views and 2.6% of that audience chatting. Just saying. Engagement was 0, and those shiny new subs were basically ghosts. To the algorithm, my channel looked dead on arrival. No watch time, no signals of quality, nothing worth pushing. I knew the videos weren't awful. This guy made videos. I was improving every upload, so I started digging. Turns out that most of the quote-unquote growth was click fraud and bot traffic. Are you listening, Angel? Basically, I inflated the channel with fake life support. Turns out online ad fraud is widespread, especially in Asia. That's where all your younger people come into your demographics. So I scrapped it and started again from zero this year. No ads, no shortcuts, just uploads and slow improvement. Same niche, same idea. This time, the difference has been insane. My highest viewed video is 60K views now, and all the other organically watched videos people commented are sticking around. I went from 60 to 600 subs in a week or so. Here's the lesson. Don't waste your time on Google Ads as a brand new creator or as an old creator. Angel Gotti's been around. It doesn't boost you. It buries you. Lets the algorithm find your audience naturally, and you'll just end up having to do what it did, what I did, which is restart from scratch. And by the way, this guy's not a noob, yada, yada. Okay, there it is. So the point is this, Angel, and this is what I was going to say to you, because you think I'm trying to be mean to you or disrespectful to you, and that's not the case. That's not the case at all. Here's what happens. And I'm saying this on Google, YouTube. I mean, I'm so under the radar here, it probably doesn't fucking matter. And what are they going to do? Terminate me? Who gives a fuck? I have Jim Terry TV OTT. I got Unite Out Network on Roku and Amazon Fire Stick. I don't need YouTube. This is an advertisement for what we do. But I want you to put this in your head. When you do advertising on Google AdSense, Google advertising, consider this. And I don't know if there's a verifiable way to prove this or not, that when you're getting these numbers, YouTube or Google, really specifically Google, wants you to get your money's worth. Do they have sock puppet accounts of 13 to 17-year-olds that are going to go and check out your channel so you feel like you're getting your money's worth? Well, I can tell you this. I did a shitload of Facebook advertising when my movie came out. And it looked like it helped some, but it didn't help as much as other months. You never really know how it's going to catch on. I can tell you this, when the Blu-ray came out, the numbers jumped because it was all within Facebook and different websites and people were posting. See, that's I think the disconnect that we have here with older people. And when I'm saying older people, 55, 60 plus. Texas Granny is a real person. She has real money. You can listen to her on the phone. You can listen and speak to Barbara Buffalo on the phone. They will take out their credit card or debit card and send you some money if they like what you're doing. They are real people. And on top of that, they're such nice people that they will moderate your show and put your Cash App out there and say, hey, this is what Mr. X is advertising. They're nice, genuine people. Those two people are worth thousands and thousands of these fake bots, millions of them. Because what good is it? Now, here's the Lee Cole attitude. And I can understand this attitude, and I'm not making fun of it. He needs to have 100,000 plus subscribers because he wants to interview pro wrestlers. So if he's got a channel with 300 people, it makes him look like a jabroni, right? How many people do you have? Well, this Mr. XPoseU is just a fucking giant advertisement to keep, or a way to keep in touch. It's a newsletter to keep in touch with people that are on our streaming platform. We have an actual newsletter with hundreds and hundreds of emails. We have a robocall, and a lot of our people are on YouTube. So it's another way to keep in touch. So, Angel, you got to look at the value of what you're getting for this subscription. Now, if it's just to say, look, I got 5,000 views, and for somebody who doesn't know any better, it looks cool, but it actually has no value. Of those 5,000 views, and it's just a question, did you ever get somebody like a Kathy Fagan? Did you ever get somebody like Well-Known Local? Did they come out of it, or did they just surf onto it one day? See, we know the majority of your viewers are, the 42% of your viewers are not 35 years old or 34 years old or under. I've been doing this for a number of years. Hey, Rainbow Melon. Hey, Barbara Buffalo. I've been doing this for a number of years. And the only somewhat active person that I know of all the people who have, the thousands of people, and there's more that have come and gone on the Jim Terry TV OTT, there's one person that two people that I could think of. I'm thinking of two now. And there's only one subscriber that I can think of that's under 34 years old. That's Lacey H. She's the only person that I'm aware of, and maybe there's more, that's under 34 years old for us. Angel Gotti's show skews even older because that older crowd knows of her father. Angel Gotti's in her 60s. So how many people do you guys in the know, hey, Rainbow Melon, that you got in the chat know are 34 or younger? How many people that you know are 13 to 17 years old in watching Angel Gotti? Have we ever? Noelle would be another one. Okay, she's 24, 25. She's mentally handicapped. She pops on. She's kind of a host, yada, yada. I mean, okay. A lot of these people are like wannabe YouTubers too. The answer to this is not accurate. So when you're paying for this advertising, and Angel, you can go look this up on Reddit. Look this up on something that's outside of Google or outside of YouTube, because, you know, Google owns YouTube, right? So, and I'm not even faulting YouTube for doing this, but I believe that they have a lot of sock puppets out there, sock puppet accounts, that when you're advertising, for you to make it feel like you're getting your value and those numbers are going up, they have those sock puppet accounts go to your thing. And here's the thing. Do you really think that even 2% of your audience is fucking 13 to 17 years old? Are you fucking kidding me? 2.6% of your audience? In fact, 2.6% of your audience is 13 to 17. And 9.8%, the next lowest one, is 65 plus. That should be one of your highest ones. 55 to 64, 65 plus should be your highest ones. They're your two lowest ones next to the 2.6, because those are the people who would know who your father is. Those are the people who would be interested in this MobTube stuff. You know this doesn't make any sense. Now, when it gets to your the attitude of, you wouldn't let me come up and explain this, okay? And I'm spending my own time to try to help you. But when you're shitting on me because you don't want to hear the truth, people start to dislike you. And my question to you is it worth it to defend this buying of bots and feeding your ego to lose somebody like Texas Granny or Barbara Buffalo? Real people. I don't know how much these women have donated. Thousands of dollars. Tennessee Gambler's a real pilot. He's a real human being. I've talked to him on the phone. How many of those 13 to 17-year-olds have you ever seen in your chat or involved, sent a super sticker? And we also get into the value also of real people. And I hate to say it like this, but let's just be a businessman here for a second. There's a couple different things that you can bring. Let's forget about the bots, because we know that's all bullshit. Let's talk about real life human beings. Angela, the co-defendant, I don't believe has ever given you much money, has ever given you much content, was ever a behind-the-scenes type person that really added a lot. Like Betty Hayward, perfect example. Girl who comes up on camera, not a bad-looking chick, edits, interesting, even though she didn't talk a lot back then. But, like, that's a real person. By the way, she sent us money, too. She checks off every box. Not the biggest contributor, but she, like, literally checks off every box. What is Angela, the co-defendant, doing? Fucking with you, making things worse for you. See, what I think happens is, and I'm guilty of this too. There's people out there, and I think the older they are, they think that it's all about clicks and views. You guys got to watch somebody like Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast, I don't know how much of his stuff is real or not real, but I can tell you he goes through the steps. Go watch his interview on Joe Rogan, where he takes his content. He's got like a game show kind of feel almost. He takes his content and he dubs it in all these different languages. So if somebody is watching it in Thailand, he's got it dubbed in Thai. You know, he spends the money to do that. It's probably a lot more legitimate. And these people are also hoping to get in his games to be able to win some kind of free money. Why would fucking 40-something% of your audience that wasn't even alive when John Gotti was alive, for the most of them weren't, or weren't alive during 9/11, would be a higher percentage of people who were alive. Now, part of this is we know the younger generation is going to probably be more open to going to YouTube or watching the videos. I mean, they're more on Instagram and TikTok than they are. YouTube's for old people. But okay, a lot of people watch YouTube. But you would just naturally think that those older numbers, the higher age people, the senior citizens, would be the ones that were watching you, Angel. That's all I was going to say to you. So you're paying, but what are you paying for? Well, what you're paying for is ego. You want those numbers to say, look, I got 5,000 people. I can tell you this. Let me tell you, this is no ego. We would do live shows and there'd be maybe 1,000 people watching. This is a couple years ago when YouTube was hotter. And after the show was over, people would send super stickers in the chat area after the show was over all the time. Sometimes the super stickers that were in the chat or the comment section were more than the show. Those are real people. So, I mean, I don't want to sound like a greedy money mark here, and it's not always about people giving money, but it's about real people interacting with your show. This is why we got a call-in number. This is why we have people come up on panel. This is why we have a chat on our OTT, so people can interact and we can see what they're saying. That's the idea of it. So I don't understand. Hey, Kathy, I don't understand why Angel doesn't do this. Why Angel doesn't understand. This is not me being... So I tried to go up on her show tonight. She wouldn't let me discuss this. And it's not that I'm thinking that she's doing some kind of big scam. That's not it at all. That's not it at all. She's being scammed is what I'm saying, to an extent. And YouTube, Google, they're doing their job, so I hate to call it a scam. She doesn't fully understand what she's paying for. Like I said, Johnny Yarborough wants to send me a cat video. I'll put up a cat video and we could put $100. It's kind of a waste of money, but we could put $100 in advertising it. And we could say, look, there's 5,000 people that watch this. Are those 5,000 people that watched it or the new 200 or 300 subscribers that I got? You know, are those real people? Are one of those people a Kathy Fagan? Are one of those people like her sister Carol? Are one of those people like Tennessee Gambler? Fuck no. And this Angel should know this at this point in her life. The only way that you get real people is to interact with people. And I'll say it again. I've said this before. There's a very famous book. They actually make you read it when you get into acting. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's a very common, well-known book. Just like The Secret. It's much older than The Secret. And that way, that How to Win Friends and Influence People, the short bit of it is honest and sincere appreciation. The Secret is like attracts like, okay? So people can tell when you're honest and sincere. People can tell when you're bullshitting them. And we know that if Angel Gotti has 555 or 600 live, quote unquote, live viewers, and there's only 2.3% of her audience chatting, that's not right. Now, am I saying Angel Gotti's buying those numbers? No. But she has to be smart enough to realize somebody might be doing that for her. And somebody who has this disease, this YouTube disease, probably the worst of it, is Lee Cole. That would be my highest suspect. He just wanted that plaque behind him. Now, of all the people that we know, okay, Salty Pancakes, Doug Hutton, what's his name, Tyler Feller, I don't think any of those guys had plaques. But all those guys that I mentioned, Jim Terry, myself, nobody had fucking plaques. All of them made money. Even Salty Pancakes is low. He's the lowest guy on that totem pole. He made more money than Angel Gotti did. Now, granted, it's a different time, but he made more money than her. So it is it's the value. Let me put it like this. Jim Terry Music has thousands and thousands and thousands of people that drive by the store every day. But how many people are going to stop in and interact in that community, take lessons, buy strings, buy a guitar? So you could say, yeah, my billboard, my sign here sees millions of people see it a year. So what? So what? You would almost be better to go into a church, play. This is what Jim's dad did. Play in a church, play in a Catholic church, meet everybody in the church, and they say, oh, that's the guy with the music store on Curlew. So that small church, let's say there's 500 people in the church, is worth way more than a person who drives by that every single day. Oh, my kid's going to play clarinet and flute. Let me go. This is like entrepreneurship 101. And I just can't believe, maybe her being obtuse to this is just, because I don't think she's a dumb lady. I don't think she's stupid. Is the ego of wanting the views. Well, look, I got 5,000 people who watched this. So what? And how much you make? And how many sponsorships did you get out of that? And who in that group brought something entertaining, like Misunderstood did the other night, or Belle V, or Janelle, as crazy as her wacky ass is, Rainbow Melon? Zero of these new people brought anything. You know why? Because like that article says on Reddit, they're fucking ghosts. They're fucking ghosts. I don't understand why people don't understand this. Katie says, I know, but she preaches, I'm going to read some of the comments, but she preaches about being loyal to her friends. That's fucked up. And I'm sorry she said that about you. Yeah, well, here's the thing, Katie. The last 2 times I was on Angel Gotti's show in November, some 70-year-old guy threatened me. Tommy Real Deal. He's like 70 years old. The last time I was on her show, the last 2 times, SoFlo was fighting with me. He's 61. I didn't have any 13-year-olds fighting with me on there. I didn't have any 22-year-olds fighting with me on there. Everybody who was fighting with me on there is old enough to go buy a fucking coffee on discount at McDonald's. They're older people. My last 2 times I was on there. So, and by the way, that name that I posted in the chat, I just want to say that name, the Angela name that I posted, the reason I posted that name in your chat is because you said we didn't know who was who over there. You know that name. And by the way, one of your moderators is one of the people who gave it to me. I didn't even ask for it. They just sent it to me. I told them I don't even fucking want it. I put Angela's full name in her chat. Tony Silo didn't like it. But Tony, it's okay to have SoFlo go up there and fucking run down Jim's family, which, by the way, very similar to Sancho or Fumble Nuts or Watcher or Crazy with these threats. I guarantee you, today's the fucking 26th of January. We just got into the 26th. In 4 or 5 months, I'm going to come up on one of these shows, probably on the OTT, and say, SoFlo did nothing. He did nothing. Who's your daddy says I could give a shit about this SoFlo. I mean, who's your daddy's a guy who's been around. Let's just go through some of these people. Who's your daddy's a guy who's been around a long time. We know him. Johnny Yarbrough is a host. He's a guy who's been around a long time. We know him. We've been on his show. We've talked to him. Kathy Fagan here, a very generous lady. We know her. We know her sister. We know her story. She's been up on shows. Katie Company, a real person, mailed me a small. These are all, how do I know these stories about all these people? You think I'm checking these people out? No, I got some history with this lady. This lady, we had a little dog, the squirrel. This little dog, the squirrel would come up and beg for food. This lady sent me a tiny picnic table, and we shot some footage with the little dog eating nuts on. I mean, like, I know these people. Who do you know that's of these new subscribers? Are they interacting with you? Are they real people? And don't get me wrong, it's not always about money, but that helps. Okay? It's not always about money. Johnny Yarbrough, just having his willingness, and we're going to add his boyfriend into it, PZ, the willingness to go out and help create content and just being a character, is his whole weight loss journey and all that kind of stuff is interesting. He's an interesting person. I hate to call him a character. He's an interesting person. His life, where he lives, how he gets things done. So we got a lot. Rainbow Melon's another person. We know Rainbow Melon. We know that she's a hard worker. She's a lady. It was adorable, X. It was a great gift. That's right. She's a hard worker. We know she lives in Michigan. We know she's a light-skinned black woman with blonde hair. We know she likes the white penis. I mean, we know a lot about these people. Angel, who do you know of these new subscribers of yours? Now, these people have been with us for like a long time. You realize that's fake, right? You realize you're paying money for fluff. I want to explain something else to you. I hate to mansplain this to you. I've done advertising. I do this for a living. Okay. A lot of people that are around me, I'll just say that, are in advertising too. That's all a lot of people who are very close to me are around advertising too. So I think I know something about Century City. Not going to say anything more than that. But if you want to believe that those are legitimate, real numbers, you go ahead and believe that. But if you're okay with them being sock accounts to make you look better, then all the power to you. The hardest thing to do when you make a movie is to do a theatrical film. Let's just say, for example, The Smashing Machine, The Rock, the Dwayne Johnson movie, right? And you're going to try to get everybody there, human beings. You're going to get the word out. You're going to try to convince them to not watch a movie on a fucking phone or on a fucking TV or on a computer screen or a tablet, but to get in their car, to pay $15 a person or maybe more and sit in a movie theater with other people they don't know and watch a movie for 2.5 hours. To be able to get people to do that, look at Deadpool. You got to spend $100 million. Do you think that that's what you're getting with YouTube? With these advertising people? Do you think they're going to show up? They're not already showing up. The only people that you have currently showing up in your chat, Angel, are detractors and haters of Jim. And I can verify this too. You always say this about Jim, but about, him bringing people leaving this and that. I have never been involved in a show that I have gotten more haters directed towards me than I've been on your show, Angel Gotti. Johnny Yarbrough show, even Fumblenuts' show, has never procured more haters than me infrequently going on your show. I've never been threatened on as many shows as I've been threatened on yours. So it works both ways. These people that were going to leave you, the Marine Moes and this person and that person and the MREs. I mean, I got to question your judgment. If a guy's got a swastika tattoo and the other guy's talking about Jewish people, Sashio, I mean, these aren't people, they're anti-Semitic people. These aren't necessarily people I want to be friends with. They're not people I'm inviting into my house. Your judgment is clouded to an extent. You think that these are good people. Let me tell you, there's a lot of different reasons that people are on YouTube. Some of them are lonely. Some of them are it's just their TV. We've learned this. Some of them are just, people that enjoy this format, this interactive format. It's almost like even though most of these people are older than me, I'm 47 and I'm the youngest one. The most active youngest one is me, and I'm 47. Everybody's older than me. Look at Bob. Bob's another great example. He's a guy, he's retired, he's single. He finds a community. He was interested in Dylan Rounds. He's got a background in law enforcement. Like, that makes sense. That's a real person. He put $1,000 into a thing. He likes the personalities. It's like having a group of people that we like in this high school, even though we're all different ages. And sometimes they don't get along. Sometimes they do. But I can tell you this, Bob. One thing I could tell you about Mr. X is I don't embellish. I don't bullshit people. If I tell you something, you can fucking take it to the bank. I guarantee it's the truth. When I tell you about Leanne, I guarantee it's the truth. I can guarantee you people are hiding things over there. Take that to the fucking bank. Okay? So, and that's why I thought you were mad originally. You emailed me, Bob, and you emailed Jim Terry live. I don't have access to that email. That's Jim's email that when I signed out of all my email addresses recently, by accident, I signed out and Jim can't remember that password. I haven't been in that email for 2 months. And you think I'm ignoring you? No, I got a fucking phone right here. You could call me. Everybody knows what my email address is, jimterrylive@gmail.com. So nobody's fucking ignoring you. And I kind of felt bad, Bob, and this is what I said in the email to you, because I heard you were kind of shitting on me tonight without even reading my email, that after I hit a jackpot in Las Vegas, I put like 400 or 500 back in the machine. I don't think that that's the best time to do like slot play and take people's money. We already tried that. I kind of felt bad. I kind of felt bad like losing your guys' money. Jim was pushing for it. I didn't hear from you because obviously I didn't see the email. And the only other person was Blackwater Bell. So I was like, well, okay, well, I'm not going to do that. I wanted to do something different anyway. By no means was I being mean or disrespectful. It's miscommunication. And that's what I think a lot of this is. Bob's a good guy. He's a hardworking guy. That's the kind of guy you want around on your channel. Okay? He can add stuff. He's a smart guy. He's got experience. Got a lot more experience than me. You want people like that around you. But miscommunication happens. But the miscommunication that's happening here with Angel Gotti is her lack of understanding, or at least being obtuse enough where she doesn't want to understand. I just think it's more of a lack of understanding. I'm not being mean. Like I said, I'm not, for people who like her, I'm not being mean to this woman. She doesn't understand there is no value of those quote unquote people that she's advertising. That's a Lee Cole production. That's a Lee Cole. Look at this plaque I got behind me. If Lee Cole had a legitimate channel, and I said this before, he would have had a fucking booth. He would have had a fucking, a banner printed out. He'd have had 2 mics, and he would have been getting pro wrestlers to interview. That's what he would have been doing. Not hanging out in some good... Look at the hotel he stayed at. That's all It's not like he was staying at the West End where the convention was at. He was staying in lower level places that I stayed in. I stayed in shitty places like the Klondike and the Wild Wild West. He was staying in places that were even worse than that. Okay? I was 20. That was my excuse. What's his? It's a bunch of bullshit. And Lee Cole's not a bad guy either. But I'm just saying that mentality of, I got 100,000 people. No, you don't. No, you fucking don't. No, you fucking don't. You're wrong about that. And I appreciate all the people. Thank you, Mean Green. And, I don't like seeing Angel Gotti questioning Kathy Fagan, who she's going to give money to. I tell you what, Kathy Fagan never gave me a penny again. She's been extremely generous. I'd say thank you. Who the fuck is Angel Gotti? If this is true, I don't know if it's true or not. Only Kathy can tell you. For her to say that to Kathy Fagan. Or for, Angel Gotti to contact Jim and say, why'd you send out a robocall for Johnny Yarborough? Because I was talking about the Girl Ryan thing. It had nothing to do with you. Angel, that's why people dislike you. I don't dislike you, but those kind of people who are drug addicts and losers and haters who can't be involved in your show, that's why they really dislike you. Because they looked up to your dad or were fucking criminals themselves, and they liked you to an extent. And when they couldn't come over there because they weren't as entertaining or weren't as interactive as Jim, they took it out on you. But they were already disliking you before that. Most of your haters you already had. And this is just, Mean Green, thanks for bringing it up on the show. There's like that half generation. I'm baby Gen X, almost close to a millennial, like the last, and they're Gen X or baby boomers. They're like, I graduated high school in 1997. What year would Angel Gotti have graduated high school? What, 1981? 1979? I was born in 78. Like Johnny Yarborough and I would have at least, we probably would have been in high school at the same time. Like he would have been a senior, I'd have been a sophomore. He's like Jim's age. These are the kind of people that are like, how can you explain this to these people? It's not about money. It's not about money. Then why are you spending your money for advertising if it doesn't really matter? It's either you don't know, and I'm spending 30 minutes, 40 minutes of my time to try to help and try to explain this to you, which, I could really just not give a fuck. Or it's ego. I call it feeding the gimmick's ego. The gimmick is you pretending it having more value than it does. But you're feeding that gimmick's ego to try to puff it up. To like, look at me. Look at me. I'm John Gotti's daughter. I got a lot of people viewing me because I'm important. It's not about money. It's about me getting attention. Is that what it is? Or do you think that this is legitimate? All you got to do, Angel, is go and look this up. And just take a second or two. Type this in a search engine. Is Google advertising on YouTube fake? Even Google, even the AI, and I'm going to read it to you, that's on Google says this. While Google advertising YouTube is not inherently fake, quote unquote fake, and functions of it are legitimate platforms for billions, okay, it frequently features fraudulent, misleading, or malicious ads that bypass Google's safety filters. Are you listening? That's what Google says. The AI on Google says about fucking them. And I'm not like I said, I'm not shit talking Google. They got a business. I respect it. I mean, I don't know how all the bots and all the algorithms and all that stuff work. I'm not a computer programmer. They have a right to earn a living. But I'm telling you, it's not the value of a real person. It's not a mean green. Okay? It's not Blue Diamond. It's not. Oh, you graduated in 2003, Katie? I was already out of college. I didn't realize you were that young. So you are younger than me. But the point is this. That's what all this stuff boils down to. And Angel, you taking me down from the show, you realize there's a lot of people like Rizman, Tennessee Gambler. They're mostly men, actually. Ironically, men that don't like you. But somehow 73% of your audience is men. Weird how that works. Weird how that works. Spanky and Boise was another one. I mean, these are people who are like members of yours. These are like real people. I see the 208 area code come in. I see it's Idaho. Those are real people. That's what you need to get through your thick fucking skull. But I think it's like a computer, Angel. I mean, the computer's already wired, and since you don't like me, somebody's that's younger and has way more experience in this than you. It's not close. And please don't take this as a disrespect thing, but because your father was a legend and people have done biopics on him does not mean you know anything about movies. Frankly, no. You might know about celebrities and how to get that made because your dad is a very well-known, internationally known person, but you don't know what it is to make and build you don't know what it is to write a script, or make a movie from scratch, sell it. Take a world that doesn't exist. See, the world of John Gotti has already happened. All you got to do is retell the story. I'm envious of that. What a great fucking story. It's already a built-in audience. Imagine taking nothing. I'm going to make a movie, and it's going to have two robots. They're the main characters. And they have this message in it. They're going to go to the sand world. Wow, that's going to be tough to shoot. And then there's a smuggler, and he's got like a giant dog named Chewbacca. And this young boy is going to try to fight this guy who looks like he's in a bodysuit. And it's all going to take place in space. Make that shit happen. Because if you could pull it off, and you could pull it off well, you got something that's the biggest ever. That's the fucking difference. I feel like I've done that. Nobody has ever interviewed me, ever interviewed me because of who my dad is. In fact, family members have become Screen Actors Guild eligible on my films. It's quite the opposite. They've worked because of me. I didn't work because of them. I'm jealous. I'm envious. You're in a good spot. Take that. It's not a bad thing. But I'm telling you, as somebody who's here, I'm here in Los Angeles. I know about it. I deal with advertising all the time. You're good. You're hoodwinking yourself. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, what you're going to have there, Rainbow Melon, is just a bunch of shitbags. They already started coming in. And frankly, look, I don't know if Kathy's still here. We like Kathy and Carol. We like Bob. If I have to make a trade and we can still, keep Kathy and Carol and some of the people we like Jesse Roth and this and that. And the one caveat is we lose all the Angel Gotti stuff with like the stress of like her haters and screaming. I'll take that trade. And it also means Jim stops wasting all his time on Angel Gotti shows. Instead of Jim spending, 7 or 8 hours a week on Angel Gotti, he puts more time and effort into the OTT stuff. That's a fucking win-win for everybody. The only person who benefited off this was Angel Gotti. I mean, yeah, we got some good people out of it, sure. We met some people we really like, sure. But Angel Gotti's the one who gained the most. Has Angel Gotti ever been threatened by anybody on our show? By me? Now, she said Jim threatened her. I never threatened her. I don't remember anybody in our chat. I don't remember Rainbow Melon ever threatening her. This is any one of our day oneers. Blue Diamond didn't threaten Angel Gotti. The problem with MobTube, I'm not, by the way, whoever you are too that's contacting me, that's saying and trying to put up pictures of girlfriends and all that kind of stuff, whoever you are, you little cocksucker motherfucker, little pussy, that I'm not part of MobTube. I'll tell you that. I'm not part of it. I don't want to be. I didn't even want to go up on panel. Not part of that shit. So don't worry about me. I won't be there. Hooper, what's up? They weren't coming back in, X. They never left. Well, and if they never left, were they sending her money? What were they doing? See, Jim went on that show and actually tried. Every time Jim would tell a story on that show or make them laugh, I cringed. I fucking cringed. You know why? Because I was like, man, all this good content, all these jokes, all these stories, I don't own the footage. And it's not being done on the OTT. What a waste. And a good majority of it, she fucking hit it. And she never stuck up for us. Certainly never stuck up for me. You know, she should really take a mental note of what I'm saying here and say, you know what, Mr. X? I'm going to look into this. I understand what you're saying. You know, I think I'm going to check this out a little bit more. I mean, that's what she should be doing. Instead of pissing off, treating Jim like shit makes you only lose people like Texas Granny, Barbara Buffalo, good people. Treating Johnny like shit makes you lose people. We weren't doing anything about Angel Gotti. Nobody's saying anything bad about Tony. This whole discussion here is not an anti-Angel Gotti discussion. We're not saying fuck her family or this guy's a rat or any of that bullshit. We're not doing any of that. We're not saying any of that. What we're saying is your perception of this industry isn't fully accurate. I'm actually helping you. And they can't. Well, Jim called the family. He called the Sofo family. He called this. Yeah, that's what you do when you're a private investigator. You start finding it out. You start figuring it out. What is the new show to join? I'll tell you what, Cat, Black Cat, what's up? Haven't seen you in a while. I don't know if you're over in the OTT or not, but, you know, I might be looking at, what's her name show? Misunderstood show. She's a nice lady. She's got a politics show, which maybe people don't always want to hear that, but she got a new group of people over there. When I did the Sci-Fi Center show and did, you know, we had a bunch of new people that we met over there. Texas Granny was a moderator. He made some money. We made some money. We got some advertising out. I mean, that's what it is. I've done so much advertising with blip billboards, all kinds of stuff, magazines. I know about it. I've done it. I've worked in that field. But she knows more. Mommy over there. Mean Green says, I would do politics. I'm very open-minded. Yeah, I mean, it's always good. It's always something to talk about. Hooper says, titties on a half shell. I was on a toilet stool and 42%. Yeah, old nasty people, old alligators. Yeah, something like that. But anyway, yeah, she's got big boobies. And then Adele was, listen to this. Adele was contacting me and she's like, Mr. X, when you talk to her, you're going to have to take your mask off and really get to know her. The fuck? I'm not going to Palm Springs. You know, it was a goof. You know, you're lucky I got that close to Janelle. So, yeah, I mean, I don't want anybody to waste their money, but it would be very interesting to see a video of Bug. Maybe Bug coming out, getting itched or something, or playing with a cat toy, and then somebody's spending $100, kind of a waste of $100, but spending $100 in advertising. Watch it explode. I wish there was a way with this advertising to see who those new subscribers are and see if they're like what their activity is. So for this $100 that I spent, what people did I get and how involved are they now? See, because when Jim came in and he kind of came in through the true crime community, there was already a true crime community going on, and there was a bunch of different shows. So now you're talking to the guy who's involved with the new hottest story. The reason it's the new hottest story is because he's telling you about it. And then there ends up being a lot of like shenanigans, and it gets more press, and it gets bigger and bigger, and Jim's a kind of a wild personality, and it becomes what it is. That's how you meet people. Jim went on all these shows. Some people hated him. Some people liked him. Some people came aboard and says, I like this. Some people said, fuck that guy. But he was putting in the time. Angel, does this make sense? This is why back in the day, like if you're promoting something, you go on Johnny Carson, you go on Leno, you go on Letterman, you go on these different variety shows and you say, hey, I'm doing this. You go on to shows in England, whatever it might be. You do radio spots. You do as much advertising as you can so you can get to real people that are out there. It's just, I mean, maybe I'm a little bit too old here, but when I start hearing about algorithms and, bots, and we don't know if these, like, I know that Adele's a real person. I know she's got big boobies. I know who she is. She's a nice lady, right? Like these are the real people. Is this understood, Angel? Do you understand what I'm getting at? So your ego is taking it personal because you don't like me, that I'm saying this to you, but I don't think you're dumb enough to realize what I'm saying is true. You know what I'm saying is true. You know it. And I think the gimmick's ego wants to have as many views as possible. You can say, oh, look, we're not having any problems. At least like in Lee Cole's situation, his reason for doing it is his brother was involved in the Ring Boy scandal, which if you don't know what that is, look it up, WWF Ring Boy scandal. He was one of the boys who was SA'd by WWF, allegedly, or some of the officials there. And he wanted to keep his brother's memory alive when his brother passed away. I mean, I can respect that. You want to do a wrestling show, you want to do that. Okay, but the retention of his show was nothing. I'll give you another example. Remember Maria, the elevator lady? And she said she had all those people. I got all these people that have been following me from Bitcoin and this coin and Litecoin and all this and that. We went on the show. We said, we're not going to advertise it to any of our real people with like a newsletter where that fucking newsletter I have? Every email I individually entered. It wasn't like an email where like you can go and say, hey, go to this newsletter and anybody can sign up for it. You got to contact me. And then I put in your individual email. Hundreds and hundreds of them I did. Okay. Jim's done the same thing with phone numbers for the robocall. Over and over and over again to retain real people. Angel don't have a problem with having that robocall sent out, but she certainly got a problem with Johnny Yarborough. I can't believe Johnny Yarborough apologized to her. Now, it's in Johnny Yarborough's nature to be a nice guy, but fuck. Mr. X, I'm still stuck on the payoff of what she's doing. It's two things, Who's Your Daddy? Let me tell you this, dude. It's two things. I think the goal for a lot of these people is to get the plaque mailed to them so they can say, look at me. I'm a successful YouTuber. That's part of it. They want the success even if they're not real people. I would rather have 40 people, okay? And every 40 person that's in here, 41 or whatever it might be right now, are real people. They're real people. They're people who either fucking hate me. Most of them like me. They want to hear what I got to say. Maybe they like Angel. Maybe they're, is he going to be mean to her? Whatever it is. So part of it is the benefit, the ego's benefit. That's number one. Who's Your Daddy? This is what I think. And if you have something else, I'll listen. But I think part two is she just might be that obtuse to it. She doesn't realize. She doesn't realize the information. Is Google advertising on YouTube fake? Fucking go read the Reddit articles about it. So I think it's probably the latter. I think she wants, everybody wants to be liked and loved and glamorous and be on a red carpet and look at me, love me, yada yada yada. But I just don't think she knows. And her not letting me up to explain this to her in a very kind way, like I've been doing for the last almost hour, is very close to the proof that she don't want to hear the truth and she dislikes me. And her disliking me is why other people have left. Real people have left, like Texas Granny. And instead of when Texas Granny says, hey, listen, I don't like how Jim's being treated, I think I'm out of there, she should be like, hey, Texas Granny, I don't want to lose you. You're one of the good ones. What do we got to do to keep you? This is just something we're doing. It's a goof, with the SoFlo thing, where it's just kind of a troll thing. It's something we're doing for content. I don't know if it's real or not. I'm just, freestyling here. But we really want to keep. Will you stay on board with us? Not a fucking blanket email. That's what I would have done. Yeah, quality over quantity. Yeah, I would rather have 42 real people watching me than 555 fake people. We know that Sashio's the same way. Fumble Nuts does the same thing, or he has in the past. Just fucking ridiculous. Johnny doesn't want anyone mad at him. He wouldn't hurt anyone on purpose unless deserved. Now, I understand that. But she's no fucking queen bee. Not the creator, but just in general. Nobody owes Angel anything. Johnny's probably given more money to Angel, and Johnny's not, I'm sure Angel's wealthy. Her dad was fucking John Gotti. I don't think she wants for anything. Johnny's putting his life together after being homeless. I bet you Johnny's given more money and more content to her than vice versa. I bet you fucking money. Why is that? It's not about the money. It's a real dude out there. He's a real life guy. Instead, she should be talking, oh, I didn't like the show because somebody got hit. Hey, listen, it's not our fault your brother got hit. God, rest in peace. It's a horrible tragedy. Nobody wants to see it happen. But it's like nobody was thinking about your family history that happened in the 60s or 70s when something just happened in real life in real time. It wasn't about you. It was about what Johnny was getting in the moment. Fuck. Yeah, people agree with me. Yeah, she doesn't own time slots. And I didn't even know she was fucking going on. That's what it really pisses me off. I mean, I kind of remembered. I was like, oh, yeah, it's Wednesday. She does go on. I wasn't even part of it. And I was so sick of hearing about this SoFlo. SoFlo, let me tell you this. Clip this and send it to him. You and I will never, ever meet, dude. You know it. I know it. We'll never meet. You're never going to see anybody in the Terry family. You're not going to do anything. You could drop any name you want, but you're not going to do anything. I guarantee you won't get one interview, let alone two, that Jim's got. And Jim did that not to fuck with you, but to try to help you because you went missing. That's where you got that wrong. That's where Silos got that wrong. Oh, he called somebody's family. By the way, I hate that fucking New York accent, too. It's annoying. The welfare check was trying to help this guy because his real life, real people, like Stone Sailor, who's a war hero, was worried about his friend. Later, Stone Sailor puts out a fucking press release saying, you know what? Fuck this guy. I'm done with it. That's not how I do business. It's not how I do it. I cancel my membership to her again. I won't rejoin. I did as well. I'm not telling you to do it. I'll be fine. I'll be fine if I never heard him again. Well, that's it. I spent an hour talking about this. I'll be happy to answer questions, take phone calls, and see what you guys are doing. Just to touch base real quick. I know it's kind of late here. It's almost 1. Friend of mine was supposed to fly back tonight, but the weather up there in everywhere it was bad, so that wasn't going to happen. Close personal friend, I told her, I said, listen, you don't want to be stuck in the Dallas airport or one of these airports. You're fucked if you're stuck there. So you're better off just staying home until this shit passes over. Where's she staying at? Work from home. No problem, Barbara Buffalo. But I just wanted to get this out. And then you'll hear Angel Gotti. I didn't listen to it. I mean, I explained it and re-explained it 2 or 3 times. That's all I can do. By the way, some kind of footage will be coming to me tomorrow, from what I understand. Some potential body cam footage will be coming to me. See, I'll tell you this. I believe in transparency. It's what I told Bob. The only thing that I got to be careful with is some of the legal stuff. Or if it has to do with a show that's coming up and I want to surprise you guys. But I can tell you, when I wake up in the morning, that footage might be there. I'm looking forward to it. Knock, knock, knock. Open up the door. Malicious intent. Yeah. These balls with her have malicious intent. Yeah. And I tell you this. I was treated like a complete jerk over there. I knew Angel Gotti didn't like me. I'm not stupid, but it was business for me. I went over there for business, to say, number one, hi to you guys, stick my nose into front of a crowd that I felt was big. Then I started realizing, I started telling Jim, I said, Jim, you're saying like this person's got 50 people, this person's got 500. You realize she doesn't have that many, right? And I started explaining it to him. I was like, Jim, you realize this, right? You know this is bullshit. You know this is bullshit. I mean, you could see through this. So, as an example, let's just see something real quick. As I pull this up, now I got to make a new can of this. Right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people. If you want to count me, 9 people active in the chat. 10. Okay, so we're up to 10. Let's just 11. We'll take me out. Let's just say 10. Got 45 people live at this current second. 23, 22%. Now, it's easier to do that when you have lower numbers. 2.6%, Angel? Now, I have 10 or 11 people live with 10 or 11 people, participants in the chat, with 46 live viewers. You had 20 people, participants in your chat, with 555 live viewers. Now, let me get this right. The reason they weren't chatting is because of Jim? No. If you have 555 people, you should have at least 80 to 100 participants in your chat. Now, are you buying those? I don't believe you are. But I think somebody's buying them for you and you don't know it. That's what I think's happening. I think you got about 120 people. And somebody's buying you like 500, 550, 450. And you're getting up to like 550. And then when all that instance happened with SoFlo, I mean, SoFlo was already ready to lie to you guys. The guy was getting 30 people watching him before in the middle of the day or at evening. We got 50 people here watching at fucking 1 a.m. Pacific, 4 Eastern. Now those numbers, when it went up to 1,200, Angel, I would believe that probably SoFlo bought him. I mean, he's willing to troll you. Why wouldn't he be willing to buy 500 people to pretend like people are interested in his story? And there probably were more legitimate people on all sides. You figure The haters of yours are people, your people that like you. SoFlo has very few people that are his people. So maybe was there more? Maybe did you get up to an actual 200? Sure. But you didn't have 1,200 people. You didn't have 1,200 people. There's no way. There was a time where I was live with Johnny and Johnny had 25, 30, maybe 40 people. And Johnny had more in his participants in his chat than you did with 1,200 people. Explain that shit to me. Explain that shit. There was one point when it calmed down, you had 2 people. I mean, I'm not saying you're scamming them. Somebody's doing it. And if you're obtuse enough to not realize that that's happening, like, I think what happens is some of these people believe their own fucking hype. And it's just like people don't want. Angel Gotti doesn't like to hear this. She definitely don't want to hear it from me, somebody she dislikes. The reason she wants Jim up there is Jim does all the heavy lifting. He can make her laugh. And I know the technical aspect of it that's not as, it's more long-winded and maybe not as funny or whimsical as maybe Jim would make it. And she don't want that. She don't fucking want that. But I tell you what, she had no problem fucking contacting me or Jim when she wanted to know how to strike people. I helped her. I don't remember her fucking helping me on anything. I don't remember her doing me any favors. Sir, she sent me a few cash apps. I'm telling her how to strike people. I told her she should have done it a long time ago. But she had some fucking old mafia code where she doesn't snitch on people. It's just all garbage. It's just all shit. And she's in one of the best cities in the world. So is SoFlo. He's in South Florida. Why aren't these people going outside? I talked about going to Universal Epic while they were building that fucking park. And I said, what I will do is next time I'm in Florida, when it opens, it's open now, that I'm going to take whatever time, say I got 10 hours in the park. I'm going to take an hour and I'm just going to walk around the park live for an hour. On camera. That's like going to be one of my shows when I go back to Florida. I don't know when it's going to be. Why can't SoFlo do it? No, he's going to have him going, wee, going down a fucking roller coaster for 10 seconds to prove that he's not currently detained. That's not a show. That's bullshit. That's YouTube shit. And that's why I got a movie that's fucking being talked about in a Hollywood Reporter. I got a movie that was released by Netflix and Warner Brothers, and these guys are doing YouTube shit. That's why. It's too bad. You can't go, let's see what she says here. But you can't go to Universal Walk free besides parking. City Walk, you can go. The parking I think costs money. City Walk, you can walk around. I'm talking about going to Universal Epic, the theme park that he was in front of. Like I've been talking about that since they've been building it. I still think one of the funniest shows Jim did with the baby powder. Yeah, I remember that. I mean, they really got some really gold content from Jim. Jim brought over like some really nice people. And I don't know if those people that gave money to Angel Gotti would have given money to us, but whatever it was for them to, these are people who want to be liked and want to contribute. For them to give money to Angel Gotti, either way is a blessing. And her to shit all over me and Jim, forget about me or just Jim over SoFlo. That's why people are bailing out. That's why people are leaving. And Angel, I'm going to tell you this. 10 or 15 people that are like Texas Granny are worth more than every one of the dollars you spent in advertising. Because you went minus in that advertising money and gained no person like Texas Granny. I mean, just the sheer time that those women posted over and over and over and over and helped you should be commended. It's fucking ridiculous. Oh, Kim the Bouncer, you like that too? You know what? I didn't see that live. I saw it afterward. I 100% agree. Who's your daddy? I'm also sick of hearing how she lost all her subscribers and friends because they hate. That's not true. People like MRE and those kind of people, this FBS, and this, they were all done with her already. She already had a ton of haters before Jim ever even came over there. The only people she lost because of Jim would have been like a Dale C or a Leanne. And you don't want them anyway. When's the last time you saw Dale C or Leanne? I don't know because I don't watch her shows. You tell me. Give a cash app to fucking anybody. Do anything that's interesting. Fumble Nuts did this. Then Fumble Nuts, fuck you, bitch. I've been here since day one. Same old shit. Same bullshit over and over again. When are they going to take you somewhere? Slot play, Las Vegas, a convention, San Diego, Florida, Texas. Maybe just like Johnny, a simple stroll through a downtown to see what the fuck's going on. A Buc-ee's, anything. Somebody like a Blue Diamond, that's her trip there. She's never going to have the opportunity probably to do that. A buffet. I mean, that's what I thought that this was. But apparently it's some kind of pseudo popularity contest of who could look at me. I got a bunch of fuck. You know what? You know why I know Mr. Beast is legit? Because I see he's got a fucking candy bar. He's obviously spending a lot of money. He has a studio. He's got energy drinks and all this kind of stuff. That's not bullshit. This other stuff, Angel, is bullshit. And I'm not saying you're full of shit. I'm saying you're being taken on a ride of shit. I hope that's clear after I spent... You're getting somebody who's a producer who does this for a living, taking the time, spending an hour of his time to try to help you. Not to shit talk you, to try to help you. You know your buddy 5.56 Media that said for me to email his brother who was an Emmy producer or something like that? That cocksucker never even took the 2 seconds to email me back. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I'm the producer. Oh, nice. Didn't you know it? Hey, hopefully I can meet you sometime in the future. 10, 15 seconds to send that email. Fucking never did it. I'm a real person. And there's no business in your show for me, by the way. We've already gotten whatever we're going to get out of it. The only thing now is just heartbreak and bullshit. And Jim's the kind of person you light a fire under his ass. This is my prediction of what's going to happen. Jim's going to spend some time, and this is what I think is going to happen. He'll get one of these people on there, and there's going to be lying on both sides. You're going to see Maureen Moe lied about something. It wasn't fully truthful or was obtuse in her truth. And you're going to see, we know that SoFlo lied. And then people are going to say, Angel, what the fuck? Well, I didn't know. I'm confused. Babe in the woods. I don't know. I didn't do anything. Why is everybody mad at me? Hey, listen, we're out of here. See you, Angel. Bye. Jim proved you wrong, bitch. I mean, that's what's going to happen. And yeah, Jim will contact SoFlo's daughter if he sticks his nose in Jim's family's business. He won't, because he's a fucking coward. But if he sticks his nose in his family's business, that's one person that I wouldn't want to retaliate with. Believe me. I know him better than you do. Any of you. I think I would be number 2 on that list. Ask Leanne. All right, well, I'm going to get out of here. Texas Granny's the best. There you go. Hooper says, I blocked Angel on my YouTube. It just makes me sick. Well, I'm getting emails and text messages all night. And I know Jim usually says, like, I literally got a lot of messages about this. Good night, everybody, says Ace's mama with a little dog. Look at him. She's snuggling with the dog. That's Ace. That's his mama behind him. He likes to snuggle in. Who's your dad? He says, later, Gators. I sent out the newsletter for tomorrow. Check that out. Thanks for listening to me rant. Angel, hope this helped you. But I have a feeling it's going to go on deaf ears. Deaf ears. How about that? I almost said deaf. Deaf ears. Look for us tomorrow, Mr. X News Network. It looks like this. You know what it is. See you soon.